Brother Troy, how are you, sir? I tell you, we had such a great time last time you were here, and to God be the glory, you were able to come back. First of all, Happy New Year.
Thank you, sir.
Blessing to you and your family. I know you brought your queen and your son along, so again, welcome to them as well. So again, thank you for coming back down.
Amen. Glad to be here.
Amen, amen. I know the last time we were here, Brother Troy, we covered a lot of information because I wanted the viewing audience to know a little bit about who you were and your ministry back in North Carolina, and hopefully you didn't have too much traffic when you came down this time.
It wasn't too bad this time. Actually, we came on down, so
it was good.
Yes,
it was good.
yes.
So to God be the glory that you're able to get here with no issues.
No issues.
But you know what I really want to talk about today and tonight, before we get to the panel discussion later on, is about your book.
Yes, sir.
Two Voices, because this is so important right now to understand how God speaks to us. And I know, first of all, that we need to know who you are, because that's so important for us to understand you as a person, as a Christian, and then what led you to create Two Voices.
Amen. Well, thank you so much, Brother JJ, for having us on the show. But I just thank God because I am a servant of Jesus Christ first.
Amen.
And it just so happened that God gave me the assignment to become an author. And so, you know, when it comes to the book Two Voices, I thank God because it was nothing that I ever expected, nothing that I wanted, but it's something that He told me to do.
Amen.
And I've learned that obedience is better than sacrifice. And so just by being obedient, even when it didn't feel good, even when it was some challenging times, you know, God was able to birth Two Voices. And I thank Him for it because, you know, as this particular assignment go across the world and across the country, you know, I thank God because He's being revealed in it.
Amen.
If anyone reads Two Voices and they see me, I've missed my assignment. I want them to see God.
Amen. And just the inspiration you said God spoke to you, because even, let me just back up before we even get into more details about Two Voices. You yourself have gone through some trials and tribulations. You know, there have been defining moments in your life.
Yes.
Even before you accepted Christ and even after you accepted Christ, that allowed you to formulate Two Voices.
Yes. Wow. And you know, I love what your brother Stan said when he was up here, because, you know, I myself kind of grew up in a household where I didn't have very little you know, direction from my father. And so even trying to navigate through all of that and trying to become a man myself, you know, it's tough. But when God comes in, when we allow Him to come in our hearts, that's when He begins to open up the gifts and the talents and really, you know, our assignments and why He created us and why we're on the earth to do what we need to do.
Two Voices.
Yes.
The name in itself.
Yes.
God spoke to you.
Yes.
Please share with us how.
Well, Brother Jay, thank you so much for asking, because I was outside cutting grass one afternoon, and I looked in the sky and I saw the word Two Voices.
Amen.
I mean, it was like written plain as day, and I was like, wow. And as I saw it, it faded away. And when it faded away, I heard the audible voice of God say, just write. Just write. What am I to write? I didn't know what to write. And so for a few months, you know, I didn't know what to write. What am I to do, God? I mean, I heard this, but I didn't know what to do. And I remember sitting down, Brother JJ, and asking God, okay, God, if you want me to write, then you have to write for me, because I really don't know what to write. And as a result of that, I think that submissiveness to God, of asking Him His help, He began to give me exactly what He needed to put in this assignment.
Amen. Now, Two Voices also talks about healing.
Yes.
That's part of the Two Voices you hear, and there's been several moments and situations where you've actually helped to heal others. Please share with us.
Wow. Yes, Brother Jay. In fact, I was asked to preach a New Year's Eve service, and there was a young lady there that God healed. She came in with an oxygen tank, and, you know, God touched her and all that good stuff. And we're just praising God. One young lady got saved. But in the two voices, during this period of time, and it was so current, the book was so current, I had a cousin who was diagnosed with cancer, and she was in a coma. And while she was in this state, I just happened to go to my hometown, which is Rocky Mount, North Carolina. And her brother asked me if I would stop by the hospital before I came back to Raleigh. I said, sure. And he was an unbeliever at the time. And so we stopped, by the hospital. And after some time, they allowed us to go and see her. She was in a coma. I had never been into a hospital room with, I think they had every machine in this particular room.
Wow.
But, so we went in, and I remember asking him as he stood right there, he and I stood by her bedside, and I asked him, I said, do you believe that God can heal her? And his words were, I believe. And so when he said that, I knew we were on agreement, because I believed that God is getting ready to heal her and bring her out of this coma. And sure enough, Brother JJ, this was like on a Saturday. And Monday, I get a phone call, and guess who it was? It was her.
Why?
She called laughing, telling me, giving me her testimony how God had brought her out. And so I rejoiced with her, and it was just a time that we really saw the hand of God move. And the Lord told me, even in my ministry, that signs and wonders shall follow those who believe. And so that's what we've been seeing.
Amen, amen. And in terms of the two voices, because as you said, you have to be submissive. You have to put yourself in position to hear the voice of God. And we can do it in many ways. Reading the Word, fasting. I'm sure that's part of the hearing the voices, meditating on His Word, and even sometimes the fellowship. But my question is, how do we know? Because sometimes the voices that come to us may not be the voice of God. Because we know how the enemy can come at you.
That is so good that you asked that, Brother JJ. And I hope I don't confuse anyone, because the Bible says, he that hath the Spirit, let him hear. He that hath the ear to hear, let him hear what the Spirit says to the church. Well, first of all, we can't live a lifestyle of sin and expect for God to speak to us and for, to give us an assignment. So we have to first allow God to really crucify our flesh and just send us through that dying process. And then it becomes quite easily, to hear the voice of God. But the challenging part comes because Satan is the prince of the air. When God speaks, the enemy goes into overdrive to stop what God is trying to do. But we as servants of God, we have to know when He speaks, it's time for us to move. And when we move, that's when you see the supernatural invade the earth.
Amen, amen. What is God saying right now in this season? Because we're in a new season.
Yes.
And as God has spoken to you, and what is God? What are we seeing right now in this season?
Well, in this season, but that's good. Thank you so much. In this season, what God is telling me is, He's saying, put off the old and receive the new. The scriptures even tell us that we can't pour new wine into old skins.
Amen.
So it's time to really put off the old. It's time to put off the tradition. It's time to put off that you're the only one that you can do, that God can use. It's time to really humble ourselves, to really let God get the glory out of every aspect of our lives. He said, if you do that, then He'll identify and let you see why you were created.
Amen.
For a time such as this.
Amen, amen. Brother Troy, even family, that's also the foundation, if you will, of even hearing the voice and being able to do what God has called to do. How important is the family?
Wow, that's so important, Brother JJ, because honestly, even with look at my family, dealing with my son, we've had some challenges coming through. He being a young man now, but I found out that oftentimes most of my training to be able to hear from God dealt when I was dealing with him. God was actually programming and tuning and fine-tuning before this came.
Amen.
And so that was so important. But we're going to have problems within our families, but how do we deal with them is the key. Can we deal with them and keep going, or are we going to harbor the feelings that we shouldn't harbor.
I know, and God even speaks about that as well. In order for us to be forgiven, we have to first forgive those around us. And forgiveness is part of the healing process, and it allows us to do what? To move forward. Brother Troy, real quickly, what's next? Because I know that you've been blessed. Two Voices is it's been speaking and touching so many people, and has God given you another assignment to go forth and do something else?
Yes, Brother Junior. Thanks. I don't know how you do that, but yes, He has. As a matter of fact, prayerfully, book 2 will be out. I'm hoping by the end of at least go into print by the end of January this month. I'm done writing. I'm just praying it's okay, God. What's is this it?
That's it.
And so that's the next project that He's given me. I think I finished my assignment, and so now I'm giving it back to Him.
Amen.
Where He can really put His stamp of approval on it, so He can go to the nations.
Well, Brother Troy, again, this has been such a wonderful time. Thank you for sharing. Can you please tell the viewing audience where we can get more information about your ministry and what you're doing?
Amen. Well, you can find us at tdsuggs.com, or you can, if you want to order a copy of the book Two Voices, you can go to that same website, as a matter of fact, or you can email us at Elder Troy Suggs at att.net.
Amen. Well, thank you, Brother Troy. I tell you again, this has been so inspiring because, right now, as you mentioned, this season, so many people are going through, and we're looking for direction. We're looking for direction from up high. And again, your book talks about, again, how to position ourselves to be ready to hear what God has to say unto us. So again, thank you so much for coming out again.
Yes.
And also look forward to having you on the panel.
Yes.
Right now, we're getting ready to go to the